So it was a day in London today, and I saw the Ring doorbell go off like 3 times, buzzing because I know what was coming. It is the new Blue-Eyes structure decks. They are here, 3 of them ready to open. I'm going to give you guys the quick sneak preview to see if I get any QCRs. I think the ratios are really bad, so I don't think we'll get one, but we'll have to wait and see. Here we have the 3 Blue-Eyes structure decks. We also picked up at the same time the last 2 copies of the Primite barrel that we needed. We're not going to mess around here. We're going to get into all 3. Left, right or middle. Let's just go from left to right. Now I've seen people ripping them from up here and it just doesn't work. So all I'm going to do so out pops the deck, and which way around is the card? This way. Do we leave them all till the end? No, let's just switch. I was going to say, if there was one that I wanted, it was this one, because it's a one of, and I get it in secret, which is nice. And a secret maiden. And can we bag a QCR? We don't, but we get one of each. And you know what? That's fine with me. We'll get one of these open, just to show you the cards that are inside. Because I think this is probably the best structure deck that's ever been released. Mainly just because of the amount of hand traps there are, outside of the fact that the deck's really good itself. So, Indigo Eyes doesn't get enough love. I think it's really good. We get the Spirit, which is one of the main new parts of the deck that makes it that much better. Maiden of White, one of the starters. Wishes, technically a starter, but also an extender. We then have the Blue-Eyes Ultimate Spirit, which again is what's making the Spirit Dragon that much better. Neo Kaiser, not getting as much love. It's doing okay in the pure build, but in the Primite build, unfortunately, that gets negated. The new Raw card. Majesty, which is so strong. This card is ridiculous. And then 3 Blue-Eyes cards. We're into the commons now. We then continue the Blue-Eyes trend with Alternative, Jet, Abyss, and then Dragon Spirit White. Let me just clear these up. Next up, Chaos Max and the regular Chaos. White Stone, White Stone. 3 Sages in one structure, which means that if you bought 3, you're going to have 9, which is a bit too many, but it's cool that you can basically use one of these decks and it'll still work. Master, Dictator, another Dictator, and then we get into some of the juicy stuff. Nib, Ash, Veiler, Veiler. Like, that is crazy in itself, but then further down the line, you also have Called By and Imperm, which the reason this structure deck is so good is because getting all of these staples along with a deck that is already good in its own right, I just don't see how we can see anything any better than that in one deck. Then just for the last spells and traps, you've got Chaos Form, Ultimate Fusion ×2, Melody, which unfortunately is no longer relevant with this new deck. You get a Mausoleum, Burst Stream, 2 trade-ins, and then for your traps you have a True Light, Ultimate Creature, which I haven't seen many people running, Destined Rivals, no thank you. And then for the last of the extra deck, you've got Blue-Eyes Ultimate, Neo Blue-Eyes Ultimate, which hasn't had a reprint for a long time, so it's a good card to get. Blue-Eyes Twin, Blue-Eyes Tyrant, which is one of the best cards in the deck, as well as all of the Synchro monsters. Blue-Eyes Spirit, Azure Eyes, and even a Hieratic Seal, which you could even technically call that a staple just because it goes in so many different decks. So what I'm going to do is get these other two decks opened up, and then we will put together our brand new Blue-Eyes deck. Right guys, here it is in all its glory. We've just done our setup, and now we've got a brand new deck box in the blue to go with the Blue-Eyes deck. We're going to do a really quick run through right now. It's not necessarily final, but it's what I'm happy with right now, so I will show you. We'll start off with the main deck, but first, just the field center and the token, you've got to go for the matching stuff. First up, 2 Blue-Eyes. I've gone for the starter deck Kyber and the starter deck Kyber Evolution, or whatever it is, versions of Blue-Eyes. I couldn't quite get an original LOB Blue-Eyes just because I haven't found one at a good price yet, but 2 different artworks, both OG, really like them. 1 Jet. It's not played in every deck, especially with the Primite build, but I really like this card, and I think actually its tech can be the difference in some games. 3 Maiden. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. It's a really good starter in your deck. Along with 3 Sage, which most people are arguing is the best card of the deck, and I would be tempted to agree with them. We are playing 1 Mausoleum, 3 Wishes, 1 Roar, 1 Ultimate Fusion, which again isn't played in every deck, but I just think it really helps to recycle some of your cards in the grind game. Synchro Rumble, which is a giveaway at one of the extra deck cards. Majesty, this card is insane. Like, it's so good. And last but not least, for the Blue-Eyes engine, we have got True Light, which is just, again, something that you need to make the deck work. Next up, for the Primite engine of the deck, we have got 3 Beryls, 1 Drill Beam, and 3 Lordly Loads. Now, although a very expensive part of the deck, I do think it's needed. You may be able to put this down to 2, as sometimes 3 can actually be really cloggy if you do keep them on the field and you draw into one, because you don't want to have all 3 of these on the field at once, because with True Light, it gives you no space to work with to either use Drill Beam or Majesty. So this can be 2 or 3. I'm going with 3 for now, but that could change. And then next up, the best bit, which is the hand traps, and this deck has a lot of them. This deck is pretty much almost half hand traps. 3 Imperm. I'm playing Honest. I think that this card is actually going to win me games. People aren't going to expect it, but it works so well with Blue-Eyes decks, given that they are light monsters. And even stuff like Nibiru is a light monster, so this is just insane. I'm playing 2 Nibirus, 3 Ash, 3 Veiler. Some people are playing less than 3, but I think 3 is perfect just because you can keep recycling them with Sage, so I don't know why you wouldn't. I'm then playing 3 Droll in the main deck. Now, this is because you can make Spirit with this, so it's effectively a starter for your deck. It's not an ideal start, but you can use this to go into your Spirit. So I'm putting it in the main deck because not only is it a really good hand trap, but also it can start your own combos as well if you draw into it. And then last but not least, I'm going for 1 Magnamut and 1 Druid Worm. Was thinking about the Bull Drake, but I think this is a good combo with these 2. Now, I believe, I'll have to double check this, that this is a 42 card deck. I wanted to get it, or it might be 43. I wanted to get it down to 40, but actually I think that the first thing that I'd probably lose would be the Drolls. But actually these work so well into making my Spirit that I just thought, you know what, let's just leave it at 42 or 43 for now and hope that that's absolutely fine to keep moving forward with the deck, and then if I need to change it, I can. Extra deck currently is 2 Spirit, 1 Ultimate Spirit, 1 of the Cypher Divine Dragons. Not a cheap card, but I do think that if you are playing Crimson Dragon, it's really useful. We're playing a Blazar, just in case you want to switch it up. And we are then playing the Crimson Dragon. Again, this card's got very expensive, but luckily I bought it a few months ago in anticipation of this deck. Extra cards we're playing, we are going with the Lightstorm Dragon from the new set. Really, really good. A Moonlight, because again, this like tech choice is really good just for popping cards. I've decided to use one of the Indigo Eyes. Number one for the OTK, but also just in case D-Barrier is very popular against this deck, which I think it is. I think people are going to side D-Barrier so much, so this can be a little surprise that could potentially help you play through D-Barrier. I've then got one of the Neo Blue-Eyes. This is just for an equip to put it in the graveyard so you can have protection, and one Tyrant. We are playing two of the Spirits. I would love to play this at 3 if I could. Unfortunately, I just don't have the extra space right now, but 3 of these would be lovely. Same with Seal. I'm playing 1, but I would love to play 2, just to give me that extra turn of disruption. But it's okay for now, and I do have cards that can shuffle it back, so. And one Liner. Now, I don't use this card very often, and this is probably going to be the first card to go, but I know that as soon as I get rid of it, it would have got me out of a really sticky situation. So it's really good against the mirror match, but it's also really good at getting an extra tuner from your deck as well. Now, it wouldn't be one of my videos without saying that my side deck still needs some work. So here is my side deck, but this is subject to change. We are going with 3 of the Imperial Dragon. I haven't actually used this yet because I've not played a mirror match, but I want to play some mirror matches to see how useful this card is against the mirror. We're then going for an extra Drill Beam, just in case we're playing a deck like Cashdale or something that can banish cards really easily, because you don't want to be without this. And then I'm playing one Scream, which is just another one of the Primite tech choices. Like it might never get used, but it's nice to have it there just to surprise your opponent. Next up, 3 Lancia. It has now become one of the most popular cards in the side deck, and there's a good reason. 2 Lightning Storm and 1 Called By, just as some generics. Skill Drain, because actually Blue-Eyes deck doesn't really care about Skill Drain that much, so I thought, why not? There are some decks that it can really punish, so I'll put it in there just in case. And then last but not least is 3 of my own D-Barrier, just because it is a fantastic card, and to be honest, I don't know about you guys, but I think this card should be on some kind of ban or limit list coming up, because it is so strong. But yeah, that is my main, extra and side deck for the new Blue-Eyes deck that I've got going. Tell me what you think. Is it terrible? Are there any changes that you'd make, things you would or wouldn't do? Let me know.